What is up, you beautiful people, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program on the channel, where we are here for episode number 4 of the EBBY Space Agency Career Mode series. This is a career mode where we are running with only 30% of the funds that we would normally get, so budget is everything. And unfortunately, we were a little bit frugal with the wrong resource last stream. We finished up after landing a bunch of probes on the Mun by sending Jeb on his lonesome, and we made a bit of a boo-boo, guys. We didn't leave him with enough fuel to get back. We think we've got enough fuel to put him into orbit of the Mun, but that's about it, really. That's about all it goes. So we had to go ahead and design a rescue craft off stream. We started the stream with that, basically. And this is because, obviously, we got the TAC Life Support mod on. We didn't really have a lot of time, so I went ahead and designed that mission to start off the stream with. But, yeah, we'll cut to that in just a second. If you see quickly, though, on the right-hand side of your screen, I have fixed one of the big problems. The big-ass black box that was in the way before has now been turned see-through, so you guys are going to miss less information from the stream. But that's about all I've got for the intro. I'm going to hand you back over to past me for the launch of the rescue craft, so that Valentina can go and grab Jeb from the Mun. Down, bro. Present day me again, just realizing that I didn't actually talk you through any of the craft and there was no time lapse. Basically, it's just a big ass fuel tank with a couple of side boosters attached on. As you see, we ditched those there. We did have a bit of a shimmy on ascent, but we do make it up to orbit without too much fanfare or calamity. So Val will be quite happy with that, and as I'm sure Jeb will be as well, listening in on the radio on the surface of the Mun. Luckily, because we've got Val and she is also a pilot, we do have SAS for this, so it makes the whole ascent fairly simple. You see there, we've got a 2-person crew capsule, so it does look a bit bulbous at the end there, because it is a 1.8 meter, I think, part, compared to the 1.25 meters that we have currently. So it does look a bit weird, but all we need it to do is get to the Mun. We don't need it to look good at this point in time. So you see here, we're setting up our encounter with a Mun, quick flyby, and we're going to try and get as low as possible, basically. You know, we can try and... The plan is, at the moment, we've got about 600 meters per second on Jeb's craft. We want him to get into low Mun orbit and rendezvous with this craft. As you see, we're circularizing there. We're going to get it nice and low. But yeah, well, unfortunately, we don't have time really to wait for daylight for Jeb's craft. I think it was running out of electricity, so we just had to launch in the night. So this is Black Screen Simulator 2025, sadly for you guys. But you're just going to have to trust me, bro. He is getting up into space. As you see there, his craft orbiting the Mun at about 10 kilometers. I think the highest peak is 11 or 12 kilometers, so we were still a bit nervous here. He's absolutely not out of the woods as we look to set up the encounter now. So you see, we're just messing around with maneuver nodes and things like that, just to try and force the encounter, really. And eventually we do that. We use the rescue craft to get to Jeb rather than the other way around, because it does have quite a bit of Delta V spare. As we EVA Jeb over, he hops in, gives Val a high five, and then they burn off back to Kerbin. And yeah, I mean, the rest of the mission was pretty straightforward. The original craft is obviously just floating there. Jeb did grab all the experiments, so it's still a semi-success for the mission. As you see, we re-enter here. We do re-enter in one pass, as opposed to sort of previous Mun missions, because we've got a bit more faith in these heat shields now. And yeah, we float on down just into the nighttime side of Kerbal, sadly. So we get a great view of the sunset as we descend, but sadly you're not going to see the splashdown. Yeah, I've got Planet Shine. I don't know why I don't increase the ambient light, but I just haven't really. Sorry, I'll look into it for future streams. But you see, we get the experiments there, and we head over to the Strategia building because we've now completed the MUN program. Albeit a bit inauspiciously, but we've managed it. So we now look to take the new strategy, and it is going to be the Minmus probe. So we're now looking at the second body out from Kerbin. But before we do that, we figure, you know what, we nearly lost Jeb. We should probably look to get a few extra astronauts on board the program as a bit of a redundancy. So you see, we're in the mission control building at the moment. We get a couple of contracts to rescue a few Kerbals from orbit, and usually what these mean are sort of, you know, free crew members essentially. So we take a couple of those to do, basically. Now, I wanted to do this in one launch, so what we did was we actually redesigned the rescue craft briefly, and essentially we put a probe core on there and gave it the ability to fly autonomously so that we could free up both seats on that craft. We also added a few struts for a bit of stability, stop that shimmy on ascent. And yeah, I'm going to cut you back over to past me for the launch of this Mark II space rescue craft. Enjoy. We've got SAS, which was good. So, yeah, back over to present-day me, and as you see, fairly standard launch. The rocket's a lot more stable on this ascent this time, as we get ourselves into low Kerbin orbit this time. We know we've got the Delta V on hand, we could get this thing to the MUN and back, so we're not really struggling for fuel here, as we come across the first Kerbin here, first Kerbal here, sorry, who is Tailed. So, Tailed, if I remember right, is an engineer, and she's found herself somehow stranded in a Mark I crew cabin that pings her off for the privilege as we take control of her there. Fairly simple, you know. We just set the rescue craft as the target, and we just float on over. So she'll get on board through the hatch there and sit waiting. We're not going to return her straight to Kerbin. However, we are going to now go and set up the rendezvous with the other stranded craft. I don't know what these other space agencies are doing, guys. They just seem to be yeeting Kerbals up into space without a second thought. We're gonna pretend I didn't do that with Jeb a minute ago. But yeah, we now set up our rendezvous with the second craft, and this is Gwenini, and I think Gwenini is a pilot, if I remember right. We'll have to double check this at some point, but yeah, she also hops into the craft now. And now we're set, guys, to sort of deorbit and get these girls home. They're going to be taken on board to the EBBY Space Agency's roster, and you know, the superior space agency on Kerbin. And yeah, we fairly uneventful re-entry here, to be fair, as yeah, we splash down in the daylight this time. That's right, you guys get to see what happens. Spoiler alert, that they land. But yeah, we splash down, and then we cut back to a very rainy day at the KSC at the moment, which I absolutely love, by the way, part of the volumetric clouds mod. And obviously, we took the Minmus Probes mission from the Strategia mod, so, well, funnily enough, it's time to start throwing together a probe to yeet it up at Minmus. So we're basically going to take the same approach we did for the MUN program, in that we're going to send a probe on a fly past of Minmus first, try to recover the science before we then start trying to land probes there. Obviously we'll land probes there before we then put a Kerbal on the surface. So you see here, we're just designing the first probe. It is literally just a service bay with a core in, plus a reaction wheel and a a science junior with all the experiments and all that sort of stuff on board. We do actually now have SAS as a result of Jeb's visit to the Mun, so we no longer have to try and actually manually pilot our probes. I know, it's fun to watch sometimes, but it played hell with my nervousness. But yeah, the probe's pretty much done now, so I'm going to pass you once again over to past me to see how the launch went. Enjoy. Try and start the gravity turn as early as possible because these thumpers will bring us up to quite a high speed quite quickly. A spin on it just to try and avoid it hitting the fins. So you see there the launch going fairly well. We got the gravity turn done quite early on because yeah, those thumpers absolutely pack a punch, and if we were trying to do a gravity turn when they got us up to sort of max speed, we probably would have ripped the craft apart with the Ferrum Aerospace mod being as brutal as it is in the lower atmosphere. But the launch goes okay. The volume was a bit I was still learning what I was doing in streaming here, you guys. I won't lie. I think I fixed the volume issues now. I don't know. You guys will have to tell me in the comment section. But yeah, we go ahead and we set up our encounter with Minmus here, and we're high over Minmus. We're going to do the Science Junior, we're going to do all the experiments, get as much science as we can, transmit that off on all the reusable experiments. I think we then pass close by Minmus. See there, we're just setting up the burn, and yeah, we do. We pass close by Minmus. We actually capture, to be fair. And yeah, we wait, we float nice and close to the surface, down towards the surface there. We then start running the other experiments. Once we do pass the threshold, I think the threshold for low Minmus orbit is 25 kilometers. So we're just waiting for that, and you see as yeah, we're just checking just above, and yeah, we now start getting the low science, low space science. So we set ourselves back up on a return trajectory to Kerbin, and yeah, I mean, we try to take it nice and slow. Well, I say that. We basically set it up so we used as little fuel as possible. And then we set ourselves up for re-entry. We burn off all the remaining fuel because we are going quite fast at this point. But this is where I made a fundamental mistake, guys. I don't know if you can see on the craft because of all the flames at the moment, but we put the parachute on top of the Science Junior, which is prone to overheating. And, well, yeah, as you can imagine, it goes pop. We no longer have a parachute to stop this thing. And we also lost a large chunk of the science. We did transmit some off, which is great. So we still got some science from it. But yeah, we see we're just descending at a rapid rate of knots towards the surface of Kerbin. And I actually managed to pull something weird off here. So I'm just going to hand you back over to past me for a moment to see. Yeah, nah, this thing's not surviving. Oh well. Oh my god! It worked! Oh, that's the biggest cheese factor I've ever seen. I just rolled it to do something daft. I didn't expect it to actually save the craft. Oh, I'm taking that. I'm taking that all day. So, yeah, we somehow managed to cheese ourselves out of losing the craft altogether. So we actually pull in a little bit more science because we kept hold of the mystery goo science, which is cool. So we pull that back, and now it's time to try and aim to, instead of fly by Minmus, land on it, because your craft can't burn up if you don't make it re-enter Kerbin. So, yeah, we take a couple of nodes out of the science tree just for future parts and all that sort of stuff. And we do unlock the smaller probe parts now. So rather than 1.25 meter landers, we can actually design the 0.65 meter, I want to say, but 0.6 meter parts, which is great because it means that we can design smaller craft, lighter craft. They take less effort to launch, all that sort of stuff. But we don't have fairings unlocked yet. So you see, we're kind of just trying to stick a nose cone on the top of this thing as a bit of a hat to try and protect against the aerodynamic forces on ascent. I mean, ultimately, I thought the design was quite good when I was building it, but yeah, it doesn't look the best. But yeah, we finished the rest of the craft. We don't even need boosters for this because it is so light. So that's the craft finished. And I'm going to hand you once again over to past me to see how the launch went. This time we are going to launch pretty high throttle. Well, we're going to, yeah, max throttle to start with, just to see what kind of thrust to weight we got. We're not gonna hard commit to the turn too soon because we do still need to get into out of the thickest part of the atmosphere. I mean, this is entirely experimental. I do not know if this is going to succeed. But we're gonna give it a good old college try. I'm gonna drop the throttle. Might sound daft, but the more air resistance we come up against, the more inefficient the launch is going to be. So if we wait at this sort of speed until we get through the thickest part of the atmosphere, it should overall be better for us. Except for the fact that we are pitching over far too much. Shut up, nature. Yeah, no, I've cooked it. This launch is going to fail, I can tell you that now. I pitched us over way too early on this. Oof. Whoops. Right, okay, well... Nuts. Alright, let's turn the SAS off, because I have another idea. Alright, cool. That's what... You might not think that's what I wanted to do, but that's what I wanted to do, because we're going to try something here. Right. Activate the engine... Cool. We have a lot of Delta V. I'm going to try and slow this down and save the probe to at least save some of the cost here. I do not know how successful we're going to be. And this is not something that I planned on doing. Right, okay. Note to self, don't suck quite so bad next time. Right, landing, suicide burn is what we need. We don't need orbit because we're not going to achieve orbit. I think we could do this, you know, I think we could pull this off. I mean, this thing is not aerodynamic. What should we say about this mission? We're going to pretend that it never happened. Remember the first rule of the EBBY space program, we gaslight everyone. No, you know what, actually, what we're going to say is this is the first impromptu test of landable booster stages. We can land a probe in the ocean nice and softly. It proves the concept. That's what we're going to say. We're going to style it out and say it was for science. Come on, come on. Nice and easy, come on. Yeah! What failure? Okay then, so the first test of our reusable booster is a success, and if you heard me refer to that craft as anything other than that, then mind your business. Nah, but for reals, a bit of a failure there for the launch, but we pack it up, we go again, basically. But I will be doing that in the next episode. Got to leave you wanting more, right? Yeah, we're getting on a bit for the video length here, guys. So I'm gonna show the revised efforts, shall we say, on the next episode. So that is the end of the video now. If you did enjoy, please do hit like and subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot, and it's free and it gives me dopamine. Why not? Yeah, also leave your thoughts in the comment section below for sure, and do check out the rest of the videos in the series if you haven't already. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.